Welcome back to Inside Golf. We are here at the clubhouse of the 1912 Club in Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. We'll get into a little bit more about the 1912 Club as the show moves on, but time to introduce the staff, the crew, the guys that make it happen on the podcast, Swing It and Ding It. Harry Mays, no stranger, by the way, to Inside Golf. Harry's been on the show a couple times in the past. Good to see you, Harry.
Good to be with you, Harry.
And this is Moose, a.k.a. Jeff Moore, another Temple guy. And he also is one of the contributors and maybe, I guess, let's get into the history of this podcast.
Yeah.
The idea man behind the whole thing. Now, we know the common denominator for you guys is the game of golf. But what else? I mean, how did you all get together and decide, let's go and swing and ding it?
Well, all three Temple guys, first and foremost.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me get another Temple plug. You know, full disclosure, play-by-play, football, basketball, forever, okay? And a Temple golf hat.
All right, welcome into Swing It and Ding It. Thank you to Mike Powers for putting that together. We dedicate this show to our friend Harry Donahue, who passed away. We'll talk a lot more about Harry later in the show, but just as Harry would want, we're going to talk about Philly golf today. And if you are a guest on Swing It and Ding It, this is what I think it says about you. And we welcome in Francesa Ruscio. Welcome to Swing It and Ding It.
Thanks, guys. that was pretty good.
Also, what was good was the appearance of both Harry and Moose's flows. They
Wow, we
had
had
going
flow
on in that
back
video.
there.
Look at that
That
hair.
was during COVID, man. I didn't cut my hair for a long time.
You weren't able to get your hair cut, right?
Yeah.
Same. So, Francesca, welcome to Swing It and Ding It. Thank you for attending the Swing It and Ding It Open, benefiting the Magical Meal Foundation. I hope you had as much fun as we did that day, because we had a blast. That was a great time. So
Oh my God,
tell us,
yeah.
Cause.
we'll talk about the outing too, but I think
Yes.
the first course review video you posted, I think it was like August 11th, something like that. Did you ever think when you posted that it would turn into what it has turned into?
Well, first off, I didn't even learn how to cut my hair during COVID. So I think that was, I mean, I was jealous of the people who did. Anyways, I can't believe I just started to post, and, you know, COVID did, while we're on the topic of COVID did teach me a lot. And it's that, you know, apparently life's too short. And so is my attention span to really care what people think. I just kind of, you know, wanted to get back into the Philly golf. And I just thought, let me just put this spoof thing out there. And I knew it was risque, and I had no idea I would end up on this Swing and Dig It podcast. So
That was the end goal for you, though, right?
Yeah.
yeah, Danielle, sure.
did
Of
it.
course, that was the end goal. But apparently people like it. And I don't know, I just think that there's this whole theme of authenticity that comes with it. And you say the quiet part out loud and just have fun with it, and not really like take yourself too seriously. I'm someone who does not take myself seriously. And thank goodness that there's this whole category of golf etiquette that keeps me in line, keeps me in my own little box on the golf course. But then that's why you have the 19th hole. But here we are. We're still making the videos. The following nearly doubled since then. TikTok, we're over, I think, 137,000. So we've been posting. Yeah, we're getting busy, and it's so hard to build a following on TikTok. So that's why I had to say that. It's very difficult to build a following on TikTok. You can like
Don't
somebody's
even try.
content. I know. You can like somebody's content, but nobody wants to follow. It's
Right.
crazy
Yeah.
work. Oh my gosh. But
We
here we
keep
are.
posting. Everybody's enjoying the work. But if there's anybody listening right now that isn't sure what we're talking about, give them a brief synopsis of what you do, the breakdown, and kind of what Moose's
Yeah.
intro meant.
Yeah, you got it. So, well, first off, I didn't realize that it would have this big of an impact, because I didn't realize how big Philly golf was.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a lot of golf courses here in the Philadelphia area. And I think I think this is how the whole thing transpired. I have a cousin who's a member at White Marsh, and my dad and I, we've been trying to link up with him to go play at White Marsh. And every single time that tee time kept falling through. So I kept thinking about the stereotypical archetype of the kind of individual my cousin is, love him. And then I started to think, I wonder, so if he exists, he goes to White Marsh, what about Union League? Well, what about this? So then I started to put the ideas together. You know what? This could be a funny, crazy, and very risky spoof bit. Let's just put a video out there. So we went right for the jugular with Arana making the
Started
first
at the
video, Golf Mills, Marion, Philly CC. And I've had a few tactics there to really spark up the engagement. And you know what? Then I started to enjoy this series because I saw the mixed reviews that it got. And clearly, I do have to put a disclaimer that it's entertainment purposes only and for entertainment purposes only, because people will just take it to the nth degree. And it's social media. It's the most unserious thing ever. So then here we are. We're doing these videos. And I didn't realize myself how many golf courses there are in Philly.
Which is great.
Did you guys know
content.
that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought,
Yeah.
okay, let's just keep
But
going
I didn't,
now.
honestly. I started the show right. It was March 2020, so it was right before COVID
Yeah.
hit, and I got into golf late, and it's been incredible just learning about Philly golf, all the courses we've had, a lot of the people on this show. So I've learned over the past couple of years just how vast it is in this area. And we
Huge.
say the embarrassment of riches we have, but
Yeah.
there are so many courses here and so many great ones.
So why did it take you this long to get into golf? So you said COVID was when you started to really get into it. A lot of people got into golf around COVID time.
Yeah, it's funny. In that interview that Harry did, I started when I was working with Harry at the Fanatic, and then in my 30s. But then when Tiger won the Masters in 2019, that's when I just got bit hard by the bug and dove back into it full time.
I know he came back, didn't he? Yeah. And his son's like killing it too. And oh my God, we're gonna have a Tiger 2.0 any moment now. And I believe the next wave of golfers within, give it 10 to 15 more years, they're going to be unbelievable, because it's the millennials who are raising those kids. We are the ones who have regret, deep set regret, not getting into golf in high school, right?
Correct.
We all wanted to do field hockey, soccer, baseball, football. Those were the sports. Now we are throwing golf clubs in our kids' hands as we speak. And Danielle and I, we kind of talked about that too. We talked about it.
You say to my daughter, let me see your golf swing. She's like, whoosh, whoosh, and she's 16 months. She has a putter, a 7-iron, plastic clubs. She has everything.
See,
It's,
there you
yeah.
go.
Well, you talk about all, not knowing that there were so many golf courses in the Philadelphia area. So you found that out. How many of the golf courses have you actually played? And how do you go about, if you haven't played it, like what do you just sort of like, think about, what's the typical member there? And you come up with kind of like, explain just how do you do it? Like if you've never been there.
Okay. Okay. So there's a lot of questions there, because I can go in two different directions. So to your first question, have I played at all the golf courses that I reviewed and did content on? Yes and no. Let's just say this. I've had a lot of nice offers, but I'm kindly declining a lot of those nice offers. And it just depends on who's reaching out. For example, when the owner of Bluebell, they reached out, the Hanson family. So we went out and I played with them. The legacy women's members over at Philly CC plus the pro at Philadelphia Country Club reached out to me. So that's all I'll say. You can read between the lines. The Philadelphia golf community is very warm and welcoming, but you got to feel it out a little bit.
I can't imagine what those DMs look like.
I just got back from manufacturers today too, so I've had 2 transfusions. So I'm really trying my best to not.
There we go.
No slippage here.
Let's get a third one.
Very funny.
We like the evening recordings ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Oh my
yeah.
God, jealous. No, I've got some H2O over here. That's not going to do anything. So the first question is, your first question is, have I gotten to play at all the courses I reviewed? Yes and no. And then your second question is my process. I think, I'm not going to lie. And I don't know if Danielle, we talked about this, but the stereotypical Philadelphia Eagles member, like Eagles fan base, right? And then we have different food groups, right? We got the 3 main food groups for education: Villanova, St. Joe's, Temple University, and then I made a joke about throwing a little Cornell. There's always a random person from Cornell in the mixture, right? It's always Cornell. It's or Syracuse or something, or what's the other one? Purdue. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's always that random outlier. Then you get into what does the city represent, right? What kind of individuals regarding representation for work, employment, and where do those individuals typically live? Where do they go about their lives? What courses do they play? What kinds of families and sports are they throwing onto their kids? The kinds of husbands they are, the kinds of wives that they are. It's
what
almost
parish
like,
did they grow up
what
in?
parish did they grow up?
Yeah.
And in a way, you kind of have like an idea of who that individual is based on what parish that they went to and what school that they went to. That was how we got to know people back in the day. So, for example, I'm from Bucks County. Specifically, I won't get too niche, but I'm from the Doylestown area. I went to Central Bucks East High School.
Okay.
I graduated 2011. I played for the Central Bucks high school girls golf team. That was the year we won states. I had to throw that in there because
CIAA state champ and Hall of Fame inductee. Congratulations.
Exactly. Thank you. You did your homework. Love
Did my
that.
homework.
And I think about the individuals who I graduated with, who I see all the time in Doylestown when I go out and I enjoy my free time with my family. And I think about that person and I caricaturize that individual and I put them on the golf course. And I can only imagine that's who they really are. And sometimes I even put my own personal experiences. So in a way, I am speaking on, I guess, like experiential knowledge of how I play and how I go about my game. And I just caricaturize all of that. So, you get different kinds of groupings of people, and then you just kind of like create different characters of those individuals. And the DMs are so funny. I can tell you, I think I made in my first video, and I believe it was it Philly Cricket Club? I think I said, you married into money and now you pretend to give a shit about squash. So I said, that was my first big punchline. And I had a girl message me like, girl, your video came into my For You page because it's like, I just realized, and I wanted to know, did you overhear my conversation? I did marry a member. I did marry into money, but I did okay before. But damn, why squash? Is it really all that great? Like, the DMs are just kind of like validating the humor and the relatability of the humor. And that's just all the validation that I need. Not that I'm doing this for validation, but I'm a little like, okay, this is good.
Oh yeah,
but it's so
when it
fun.
hits.
Like,
Yeah.
It's
So you
good,
talked
it's
a
good.
little bit about Central Bucks. A little bit. We always like to talk about the golf journey here, right? We talked about how I got into it, right? You started out, played in high school. It was awesome. You got to play at Lookaway. Like that's pretty cool as a home course. You decided to take a shot at the college golf world.
Yes.
And then it seemed like maybe that wasn't totally a fit for you and went into some different directions. So just talk about how that kind of happened and how you found your way back.
Yeah, you got it. And I'll try to give the elevator pitch because that's about like 10 years right there. So the way I got into golf, my dad loved sports. We were sports, me and my sisters. We all played sports and my dad coached all of our sports. He wanted to get at least one of us into golf. And the way that he did it, and he knew we loved spending time with him. I'm one of 3 sisters. So my sister Carla and myself, we were very young. Spring Mill's not too far. There was a public range back in the day. It was a little bit of a chip and putt, mini putt, whatever the hell you call it. And then there's the course in the country club across the way. So what my dad and I would do with my sister, okay, let's go grab ice cream. But let's first go on the range and let's go do some mini golf. Let's do some putt. So he
I have
found
4
a
daughters.
way.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna take notes. I have 4
Take
girls.
notes. This
He has
is
pen and paper.
this
Tell
is
me
the
more.
way to
Okay.
do it. There needs to be
Alright.
some kind of bargain first,
Ice cream.
right?
Got it.
In a way,
Yep.
because then it triggers you to want to earn it. You want to earn that thing. So for us, it was always ice cream. We wanted to earn vanilla ice cream with rainbow jimmies. That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted to earn. So when we would do well in mini golf, putt, on the range, whatever you call it, my dad would reward us with ice cream. And then I started to fall in love with like hitting a golf ball and watching that thing soar. Then from there, I started to build a set. I entered the Philadelphia Junior Tour. I did that tour in middle school and high school. I think I was Player of the Year in 2010. Then that next year, we had enough girls to create and put together a CB East's very first women's girls golf team. And you only need 4 girls to do that. So the 4 of us, we went through the SOLs, suburban leagues, districts, regionals, and states. And we had to compete against a lot of the private schools because And these girls were teams of 8, 6, 12, 16. We were 4. So if we had 5, let's say we had 5, we would at least have a rebound score in case if the 4 of us didn't perform that day.
Low 4 would count.
We had a bad round.
Right.
We only had us 4, and that was that. And in a weird way, when we were 16 or 17, we were kind of ignorant to how good we were as a team. And also the fact that my life was every Monday, I would go and do my classes and then go play golf at Lookaway. As a 17-year-old,
That's a good day.
that initiation fee, mind you, is north of $100K, and I'm there just totally screwing up the turf.
Right.
And like I am chopping up that fairway. So I'm like, I didn't realize at the time, but now years later, I was like, damn, I really had it made. I was so blessed to have that experience. And then, from there, I still played golf. I went ahead and I got a nice Division I. I played for a good D1 school down in Maryland called Towson, but it wasn't for me. And I'm glad that I tried it because I really loved Philadelphia, and I really had this dream for me to be somewhere in the news space, the journalism space in the Philadelphia market. And I didn't like Maryland. I'm like, Baltimore, be more. Ew, you guys have no culture. You're gross. This is stupid. I hated everything about Maryland. I hated everything about that city. Just to be honest, I hated it. So we transferred to Temple. I met Danielle. We did. I met Danielle. And then I was, I did the Temple University Temple Update student news program. And then I was Miss Philadelphia, which was great because that's scholarship money. That's purely why I did it. And also to really integrate back into the Philadelphia community in such a catapulting way. And Miss Philadelphia was a platform to do that. And that year, I actually did put together a few charity golf tournaments for veterans. So I really advocated for veterans. That was my platform that I championed. And then from there, we did NBC 10, and I did traffic for a little bit over there, 2016, 2017. And then I kind of just went to Los Angeles, learned how to properly storytell and how to do content and produce films. And I'm working on a golf concept right now that I think would make for a great limited series. But golf content's big at the moment. And then I found my way back here. We're still doing LA. We're like 60-40 right now. I still go back there for events and whatnot. And I've got a great community and base over there. But this is home. This is home. You can't leave this area. You think you can, but you really can't. So
well, what pulled you back? Yeah. Why come back to Philly? Why rediscover your love of golf and start creating content in this space? What sparked that again for you?
That's a really good question. I would say the lack of golf over there. And I had every intention to really try to find myself as a content creator in the Los Angeles market. The only thing with LA is there's really not a big golf scene in Los Angeles. I mean, you may have Riviera, Mountain Gate, the usual suspects, LACC, and then you're slumming it at Rancho Golf Course, which is a public golf course that mimics LA traffic. So by the time you decide you want to get a tee time, you're pulling up to the first hole. There's 2 foursomes waiting, a foursome on the tee box, a foursome in the fairway, and a foursome on the green.
Yeah.
So there little to no golf culture, and clearly, if you're going to go play at Riviera, and I've had the privilege to do so, you need to cultivate such intense, quite an intense community and network. Like your life depends on it to be able to get invited to courses like that. So it was very difficult. My clubs collected more dust than birdies. I'll just say that. Yeah.
Well, describe the typical week for you now here, back at home. Like how often do you play? Do you practice? Do you have a home club?
Yes. Oh, okay. So we're doing our country club shopping right now.
Oh, you are? Yeah.
Haven't decided. Coming back here May of this year. So everything is already backed up for years. Doylestown, I know I'm looking at proximity, like location.
Yeah.
So Doylestown would be very close. Ideally, I'm grateful for the open door policy that I have over at Lookaway just because of that history with me playing there as a high school student. But we're not a member right now. I do love me some Manufacturers, and I hate how much I love that course. Have you guys ever played
It's very
Manufacturers?
underrated. It is. I mean, the elevation
Oh,
changes there
God.
surprise me every time. It's awesome. It's a great
It's
spot.
crazy.
Yeah.
I was just there today. I played, what's 18 plus 9? I played 27 holes. Yeah, that's what I did. And I'll tell you, from 70 yards in, that course has its own language. It's unbelievable. I can't tell you how many times where you get it on to the middle of the course, you play to the middle, and those balls just roll right off the green. But I always say, if I can really master that course in a way that's well suited for me, I feel like I could do fairly well wherever else I go. But it's a great course. So no, we're not a member anywhere yet. I hope that changes by next year. Again, like, I just came back a little too late, and everything is just so overbooked for years.
Wait list.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't come down to South Florida. It's even worse. That was going to be one of the other things I was going to say. Once you, if ever, run out of Philly courses, you can come down here and start saying what the South Florida courses say about you. But
Oh my God.
it
Yes.
would be fun. But let's keep it in Philly for now. We always close out this show by asking our guests,
Okay.
what is your favorite Philadelphia course that you've ever played and why?
Why are you going to do this to me?
Every
does it
guest
to
gets
everybody.
Every guest
Oh.
gets it.
Okay. Wait. My favorite Philly golf course and why? Oh my gosh. I'm so mad at you for this. You know what? I just got off of Manufacturers. I'm going to say Manufacturers.
Strong answer.
I'm going to say Manufacturers. Yeah, it's challenging. If I had a bitch, I was like, oh, I effing love this course so much. Doesn't matter. So, Manufacturers. And I hope the girls over at Philly CC know that I love Philadelphia Country Club just as much, but Manufacturers will take the cake for that one. Oh, yeah.
Love it. Well, listen, thank you for coming on. Thank you for attending our outing. I hope you had a good time at the
That was so fun.
Yeah, that was a great day.
Oh, yeah.
I took some notes. I think your dad's name is Pasquale, right? I think I
Pasquale.
All right. I got the ice cream notes for my four daughters. Yeah. Somebody's taking it that way, because
you got it.
That needs to happen. But continued success. We'll be watching, following along. Hope to do more stuff together in the future. And thanks for joining Swing It and Ding It.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You got it. All right, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Swing It and Ding It. Great to talk to Francesa Ruscio, who was out at the Swing It and Ding It Open, benefiting the Magical Meal Foundation. She had a blast playing with a couple of my guys she got stuck with, but
good guys, though. Good group.
Yeah, and they played well. They were in the top 5.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's funny because as soon as she walked in, like 2 guys from my club were like, "Are you going to review our club again?" Like,
really?
I can't imagine what her DMs look like.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not talking about like just a creepy way. I'm talking about like,
I'm sure
you
there's
got
a
to
lot
come
of
to
that
my
too.
Yeah,
right.
it's probably
You
like the Yip Strickler. Like you have to review this. You got to do that. Like,
I was going to bring that up. Her and Yip probably have the most incoming traffic right now of anyone.
Literally just suggesting. Yeah. And even offline, we asked her and she said some clubs will even say, like, you should have roasted us more. You should have done this or that. So it's going to be so fun, though, coming up with, I liked hearing about her process and how she goes through and how she kind of thinks about like the demographics and where they live and everything else. So it's pretty cool how she approaches it and kind of,
It's so smart, too, because, everyone, members at clubs are very about their club. Right. Yeah. And when you hear anything about your club, you lean in. So smart,
especially in Philadelphia, because it's a very parochial area as opposed to other places in the country. So perfect. Yeah,
very cool. Well, Danielle, spill some tea for us.
Yes, absolutely. So we were actually texting about this, and if he's listening, you still owe us a reply to our DMs. Michael Brennan, he's officially headed to the PGA Tour. So 6 weeks after earning a 3-win promotion to the Korn Ferry Tour, he then won on a sponsor exemption at the Bank of Utah, which launches him straight to the big show. He's now PGA Tour membership. The Korn Ferry kind of posted a funny little post that was like, it was fun while it lasted, and the date said he was an actual Korn Ferry Tour member, which was like all of like 6 days or something like that. But I think I texted it to you guys. Prime example, when you're hot. This guy's career and what he's been playing. Harry, you and I were talking a little bit about it. It's just he's silly good. So a name to keep your eye on, just watch how he plays in upcoming seasons here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He played at Wake Forest. I mean, he's legit. And you talk about the heater that he was on. He had 3 wins on with the old Latino American Tour. What do they call that now? The Americas
PGA of
Tour?
Americas.
PGA of Americas.
Tour Americas.
Between August the 10th and September the 14th, he won 3 times on
Which
that
gave him that
tour,
battlefield promotion.
Right, which got him moved up to Korn Ferry. And he's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to get this invite to play in a tournament in Utah at this resort. I'll just go win it. And now he's on the big tour.
2-year exemption.
And he was hitting drives over 400 yards. Now, I know it's at altitude, and, that golf course, kind of caters to that kind of thing. But still, 400 yards plus is 400 yards.
And he's the 8th player since 1970 to win on the PGA Tour in 3 starts or fewer. And his first 2 starts were as an amateur.
Right.
Which is
so awesome. I think there's only like one guy like in the 80s that did it.
Yeah, I think he played in the U.S. Open as an amateur and missed the cut or something, and one other tournament, maybe the Open Championship. I don't know, but yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah,
incredible
for sure. So hopefully we can try to get him onto the show. Would be an awesome guest to just talk.
You mean
to him.
He didn't respond to you?
Well, I should have DM'd him from mine, but I went in.
Moose and I are used to this stuff.
I'll have to switch
used to rejection.
Over.
Yeah, some 60-year-old guys in my DMs. Pass.
Oh gosh. Get these guys out of here.
Yeah.
Well, Harry, I'm not sure if you've heard about this, but I know that Moose has. Luke Kwan, is he the most hated man right now?
God.
Overslept his 9:30 a.m. tee time, instantly became golf's biggest villain of the week. Golf fans were so heated. David Portnoy was heated. The snooze button Hall of Fame. Even Monday Q took to X to say the internet is mad at Luke Kwan. People are finding every tweet I ever wrote about him and replying. And people are like, it's not that wild. Like, the guy's kind of a jerk, et cetera, et cetera. He's like, but they're finding tweets from 6 years ago and responding to it. Like, the internet is mad.
I mean, he was, well, first of all, it was a tough week in our world, but condolences to the foreplay guys. Cody B. Frankie, head professional, Barstool Sports, also passed away this week.
Really?
Yes, he did. The big guy, Cody, who made incredible videos before he joined. And Barstool has a way of just finding these guys that stand out, and they hired him as part of Foreplay as their head golf professional. And I don't know if I've ever seen a guy more universally liked as just a nice guy. He took his hat off every time he shook everyone's hand, anywhere he was. Just loved the game of golf, and huge loss for those guys. And it was tough because the Internet Invitational was coming out that day, so they pushed it back a day, but they kept him in all the videos. His family wanted it that way, which was really cool. So he took the first shot actually in the Internet Invitational, and it's an incredible video. It's compelling. Everything about the entire video was awesome. But yeah, condolences to those guys. But back to Mr. Kwan. I mean, I posted it. I said the fact that he overslept, he thinks that's why people are mad at him. He couldn't have been a bigger idiot or unlikable person the night before with PFT, just treating him like trash. Like, he just was completely
so
unlikable.
Nonchalant. Like, he didn't give any. He's like, wish I would have woke up. And then I should have fact checked it, but someone's like, he has triplets, give him a break. And I'm like,
no, that was BS. That was, they were trying to just because the team was trying to not lose. So
he said he was on Norway time. I actually watched this stupid video.
That. Yeah.
And that makes no sense because he would have been up earlier, like about 7 or 8 hours earlier.
Yeah. But just the lack of, everybody's overslept and, but to a commitment and something like that
but
at this age.
Then he was such an a-hole to his partner too.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just
terrible.
I had no idea who this guy was until I saw Moose comment on it on the Instagram. I'm like, who's this guy? I better investigate this because we might talk about it. So I do some research on this guy. I think this was all staged. I think this guy might be a real jerk in real life, But I think this kind of stuff is all staged to bring more attention to it. This is just the cynic, the old man cynic in me, and how the world works today with clicks and outrage and all this kind of stuff with social media. I think this was intentional, and I think it was brilliant because
Portnoy is no dummy.
No, he's no dummy. It got us talking about it, which I had no idea who any of these people are. Like Moose was just rattling off a couple of these people's names. I thought he was speaking Mandarin. I have no idea who these people are, but now I do. Okay? So that's the way it works.
Hey, I don't think you're wrong, Harry.
And he's willing to wear the black hat, this guy. He kind of revels. You could tell just by watching him in the videos that he revels in kind of being the jerk. So I think this is
I'll lead into it.
It's sort of like a WWE scenario where you got they got the heel, and the bad guys, they make everybody pay attention.
Yeah. For sure. Not a bad take, Harry. Monday Q. Monday Q, I saw this. This article is for the True Sickos, a recap of all 14 first stage sites, the medalists, clutch rounds, notables that missed, and those that made it through. So he said, if you read all 3,000 words on first stage, seek help. And he's like, this is coming from the guy who wrote it. But just looking through the couple stages, a couple people advancing. Curtis Thompson, obviously Lexi's brother. We've heard about that. He's had some success. He's been on Korn Ferry Tour. He's been on the PGA Tour on and off. Some notable misses, Grant Hirschman. So anyone listening, we talk about Q School all the time. There's, first stage, second stage, final stage. It's like the world's hardest interview ever. And there's some big names already missing at first stage, which means they're not advancing. They're not going to be able to get their PGA Tour card or even fall into a category to get additional status. So just to look through that, if you guys take a look, we can post it up on our Instagram page and show some of the people who are advancing and who's missed. Ryan Ruffles also missed. Just a pretty good group of people, but some surprising misses there. Yeah. St. Andrews is getting a little tune-up ahead of the 2027 Open. Not a redesign, just a little restoration. And
not that walkway they put in that one time that people went crazy over.
Literally. But the old course is staying sacred, but we are going to see some changes. So stay tuned for that over the next couple years. And then we can kind of group these last two into one. The White House dirt is literally being dumped on a DC golf course. East Potomac Park is getting truckloads of dirt from a Trump White House renovation, and nobody knows why, but rumors are starting to swirl that he wants to rebrand it as Washington National Golf Course. And if you look into it, there's an entire thing on, all these thoughts and what's happening, but somebody owns the rights to it until like 2027. So it can't even be touched anyway, but they have people on course saying dirt just keeps showing up. We don't know exactly what's happening, but supposedly they might be doing something to that golf course. So
which golf course is this?
Potomac.
Yeah, East Potomac Park.
East Potomac Park. Is that a public golf course? It sounds public. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like he would have to buy it and then So
well, he heard about everything going on at Cobb's Creek, and he's like, I can't be outdone here.
Yeah.
Send the dirt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
And actually, I did a video clip for Brandon the other day because I'm sitting here and I just threw the news on, and then I just kind of stopped and I looked up and I was like, wait, am I watching the news? Because I'm just hearing golf, and it's Trump just talking about, I played with Bryson and a couple other people. We won again. There was this many people in the field. I'm like, it's just so funny to hear golf talked about all the time. Especially by the president. But,
and also his granddaughter has been invited.
Last.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
That's the last bit of tea. Kai Trump will make her LPGA debut next month at the Annika. So the internet's already arguing privilege versus ticket sales, et cetera, et cetera. And like we always say, attention gets opportunities in modern golf. So, I mean, we talked about Steph Curry. We talked about all these things and people just saying like privilege shouldn't take away a spot that's earned and everything else. But it's like, hey, you guys will also try to advocate for these guys to get big, or women to get bigger purses. And if we can have people like this that can attract viewership, everything else. And again, on Harry's point earlier, we're talking about it. We're talking about the Annika.
They'll get attention. As far as deserving, as far as a golf standard, there's no way. You know, but as far as attention, they will get it.
Yeah. And, being in our
I
world,
hope she plays well.
yeah, I do too. Being in our world, though, you guys know that that's important and that's what gets it. So that's the tea brought to you by Wear SPF. Just because the temps are cooling off doesn't mean the sun stops doing damage. Whether you're out on the course, watching football, or just running around town, you still need protection that works. Wear SPF by Justin Thomas is dermatologist tested, sweat resistant, and keeps your skin safe year round. Check them out and order today at wearspf.com. That's wearspf.com. And if you guys go to JT's latest post, you can see him putting on SPF all over, making sure that he stays,
multiple JTs.
sun safe.
Yeah, so you're still wearing sunscreen at this time of the year in Florida, Danielle?
Oh yeah, I put
I know
SPF
you weren't
on
wearing
every
it
single day.
when you came to South Jersey. There was no sunscreen needed.
Well, I put a little bit of it on my face every day, but I know I needed a beanie.
That was for the wind burn.
You guys see what I'm wearing now? This is because my husband keeps our house at 52 degrees, and I'm like,
what?
Maybe not
52,
but when we go to bed, it's like it drops so low, and I'm like, what? It's good for recovery, and I'm like, but I'm freezing.
66 is the optimal temperature.
Tell him to sleep in an ice bath.
Literally, he loves it, and I'm like
66. It's like the
I don't mind sleeping when it's cold because I can
Yeah.
have some blankets and stuff. But like just sitting here, like I should be able to not wear a jacket.
You're at 66, Moose, in the house?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I
What do
gotta
you
put it
have?
up with the kids. I got to get it up to 67 because they
I
complain.
fight
but-
my wife whenever she wants to take it below 70.
Oh, Harry.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm you, Harry. Like Brandon will.
A penguin just walked by.
He sees me. And he's like, "Yeah, seriously, that's me. We have an igloo right over there. You don't see it, like." But I'll go over the thermostat, and he's like, "Are you touching that?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"No."
Yeah.
The good thing is my wife doesn't know how the thermostat works, so we're good there. Yeah, confuses her. Well, we talked about Michael Brennan. I don't know if there's anything else to talk about with the Bank of Utah Championship. Maybe a little bit about Max Homa and some of the other guys, but
Mahoma did.
Well,
but how about the way he comes out? Like what was impressive with me with Michael Brennan was comes out on Sunday and hits five at the first nine out of the first 9 holes. He has 5 birdies.
yeah.
So he's just like, I'm winning this thing.
Is that any good? Is that any good?
He can go low, that kid. I mean, he's not afraid to go low.
$1.8 million in a 2-year exemption. Tremendous stuff out of him.
So good. Not worried about anything for a little
And plus,
while.
how about the scenery at that place? It is
Stunning.
really
Literally
pretty cool.
Jason went out there to prep some of his team ahead of the week, and he was just sending me some stuff. And I'm like,
Harry, did you get that email about the all
I
access
did.
trip?
The all access trip. That sounded pretty good.
Pretty good for that many
Yeah.
rounds of golf. And
I don't think I
know.
got that
hotel.
email.
I have to send it.
I've been to Utah
send it.
once. It's where I got my dog.
Is that
man,
right?
That looked pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep. I flew out there to get my dog. But yeah, that place looked awesome. And then Moose, you mentioned Max Homa. I saw it made me giggle a little bit. I didn't add it to the tee, but he kind of said like, disappointment of a year, not how I wanted it to go, blah, 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 just acknowledging kind of his performance this year and said it was great to close out his season in Utah, whatever. And he said, I'm going to make next season my female dog. Is what he was.
I get it.
So-
He's got to get rid of those bone spurs, though, man. He was struggling. He was fighting that. Any other standouts from you, Harry, from that?
No, the 3 guys that I picked all missed the cut. How about
I
that?
hate to see it.
Yeah,
I
not
hate to
good.
see it.
Not good. But I'll be watching, the DP World Tour in the next 2 weeks. They've got their 2 big events over in the Middle East. The race to Dubai. They're in Abu Dhabi and then Dubai, the final couple of tournaments. So they'll have some pretty good players in that.
Harry, did that women's team event, was that last week?
Yeah, that was this past week. I believe Australia won it. I didn't really watch a whole heck of a lot of it because of the time change and everything, but it was Australia won it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's close out the show talking about our friend Harry Donahue, who we found out today tragically passed away. Great friend of ours, great friend of the show. One of the first people to reach out to us when we started Swing It and Ding It to give us a little publicity. I've been on Inside Golf a couple times. Harry, you've been on, you've hosted, you've done a ton. A titan in the Philly golf world was Harry Donahue.
Yeah, he really was, man. And, just a titan in broadcasting, really. I mean, you think about, all those years at KYW from 1979 to 2014. If you were listening to morning radio and traffic on the twos and all that, that's not what he did, but he was like a fixture on that morning broadcast for all those years. He did the Philadelphia Stars, if you remember, back in the USFL. I think they lasted maybe 3 seasons. A lot of great players came out of that league, and Harry was the play-by-play guy for the Philadelphia Stars, who won the championship, I think 2 of the 3 years that league was in existence. And then he goes to Temple Athletics in 1984 and, does football and basketball and various TV stuff with football and basketball with Temple. And he was eventually put into the Ring of Honor in 2020 at Temple. I was there for that ceremony. It was terrific. And I had no idea, but he was inducted into the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame way back in 2000. So that was something that I learned today. And then, we all remember him obviously from Inside Golf. He was the man on Inside Golf. It was his show to me. When you thought of Inside Golf, it was like, that's Harry Donahue's show.
Yep.
And, way back when, I don't know how many years ago it was, he knew that I loved golf, and, we started doing the Temple games together, and he said, hey, why don't you come over? I'm going to invite you to do the panel show, our teed off segment for Inside Golf. And I said, yeah, sure. I love it. I love, like Moose said, we started this podcast because, I could never talk about this on the radio, but I love talking about it. And he knew that and recognized that, and invited me over to Lulu, and started doing it and having a ball. And, I met so many great people through that show,
right?
That some have been on this show, and just the connections. Harry was a connector.
Mm-hmm.
He knew people in all walks of life, whether it was through golf, through, his sports contacts, prior to golf that had nothing to do with golf, but he knew everybody. And he was a connector, and he loved putting people together, and he loved telling stories. And he had stories. I've heard some of these stories 5 and 6 times, and I know you, Moose, too. There's certain ones that he favored where he'd tell you this, and he would act like it was the first time he was telling you this, but you're like, you knew the end of it, but you just let him go because he loved telling the story. So, that was part of the stuff I loved about him. But he was a legend in broadcasting and a legend in really the game of golf in this area. He did a lot for people. Help raise money, for charities, and he's going to be greatly missed.
No doubt.
I learned a lot from him.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful tribute, Harry. Beautiful words for a person that absolutely deserves it. Did a lot for us in this show for sure, and definitely connected in a lot of ways. So
yeah,
we'll make sure we share everything that honors Harry, and make sure that everyone knows everything that's going on.
Yeah, and thoughts to his lovely wife, Linda, and his sons, Brian, Tim, and Adam.
Yes, absolutely. All right, well, thank you for listening. Thank you, Francesca, for joining. And as Harry would say, remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, on or off the course, don't pick up.